All right, family. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. Our Facebook page is still giving us issues on connecting with the Riverside app, and so look like it's there now. So I don't know. This technology is kind of giving us fits, but so hopefully our Facebook page and our YouTube page are broadcasting live. That's the goal, and it was glitching out for a moment, but we wanted to just say thank you for tuning in to another Red Alpha Mugshot Monday podcast. I'm Ruben and my wife Veronica Escalona. We are the owners of Red Alpha Custom Prints, and we come to you every morning, every Monday morning at 9 a.m. To give you the scuttlebutt. This show, I'm excited about the show because we're going to give you a weekend recap of what we had going on over the weekend. We had a little bit of work and and a lot of non-work related activities. And so, as you can tell, we're fresh and ready to go. And we hope that you join us in thanking God that it's Monday, right? Because we got a lot of good things to discuss and a lot of things to look forward to throughout the week. But like I always say, it cannot be a Red Alpha Mugshot Monday podcast if we're not talking about the mug shots or the mugs that we're sipping coffee from. I'm going to let my wife go first because I need to take some water. What mug are you using today?
I got this. I'm using this one, no notes. That I got a gift from one of our daughters. It has to do with the new girl.
Okay.
One of the episodes or one of the things that they had.
Oh, okay. New Girl. How many times have you seen that show?
I think we might have seen it maybe 3 times, like,
Yeah,
fully.
all the way through. Yeah, yeah.
It's funny.
I started watching it, and it's a pretty good show. And Winston is probably my favorite character out of them, and so it might be time to start rewatching it. I don't know. It's one of those reoccurring shows that I think that we can watch over and over. It's really cool. Um,
And you?
so the coffee I'm drinking out of is the Daytripper,
Mm.
right? And so the Daytripper is another show that we used to watch
Yeah.
on Saturdays,
Yeah.
right? And what channel was it on?
It was on PBS when we had cable.
On PBS. And so now we got everything streaming, right? So
Yeah.
don't start sending us money because you feel sorry for us. We got all the streaming channels pretty much, and we do mostly streaming. We don't do the cable thing anymore. But so yeah, the Day Tripper was something that my wife used to watch, and then back when she woke up before me and on Saturdays, and then it was just a really cool show where this guy named Chet Gardner.
Yeah.
Chet Gardner would go all over Texas and he'd find some cool spots to eat at, and just go from city to city and kind of like a tour, like go to all the tourist attractions. And so a few, I don't know how many months ago, we found the headquarters over there in Georgetown.
Yeah, it
Right.
was last year.
Last year? Yeah, so last year we were actually looking for a coffee mug for the show. And so that's what we did when we go to Austin or Lubbock, we'd if we find a spot to get a new coffee mug so that we could talk about it on Mondays. And so we were in Georgetown, there was some farmers market, there was just a lot of things going on downtown, and we stumbled across the headquarters
Yeah.
of the Day Tripper, which is really cool. We took a bunch of pictures and we got a chance to talk to the person who showed us the studio that in the back.
Yeah, she opened the door and she's like, "We can't let you guys go in there because of liability issues." But that's where they
They
film
filmed the show.
the show and the podcast, or they do their cuts or whatever, like the producing, right?
So I had to grab me a shirt while I was there. We got the coffee mug, and I got the shirt that has this classic saying "Vaya con Dios," or as he's saying,
Vaya con Dios,
"Vaya
amigos."
con Dios, amigos." And so grabbed one of those, and what you got you a shirt too.
Yeah, I got the shirt the same. With the
Yeah,
same
so
thing.
man, it was pretty cool. So as you can see, we're a match made in heaven and show made heaven, and we've been into stuff like that, and I always thought it was cool with what he did. It's like he goes around and just finds cool, good restaurants to eat at. Like all the food is like, I want to go to those places and
Yeah.
try the food out. And then and so then I found myself kind of doing it here in Abilene. We go to a food truck and it's like, oh man, and we tell everybody about the food trucks that we like, and if we come across anything new or a restaurant, we try to at least talk about
Yeah.
it and share it with other people. And it's just kind of a fun thing to do. And so you never know who you might meet, who you might run into, um, you know, out and about just getting your food. And or looking for a coffee mug, you might run into one of the headquarters of one of your favorite shows, right? So that's really cool. So yeah, that's my coffee mug. My wife, this morning we were out of coffee, and so like over the weekend, I think I drank the last of the coffee that we had,
Mhm.
and then I was kind of like, you know what? Well, that's a Monday problem. We don't need to go try to get coffee for Monday. We'll worry about it on Monday,
On Monday.
right? Does anybody else do that? To me, it's like at the end of the week, whenever it's time to clock out, especially when you're going out of town, you kind of like say, okay, this is a problem for Monday.
Mhm.
Whenever Monday gets here, I'll deal with it. There's some things that you absolutely have to do before you take off.
Mhm.
For example, Friday night and early Saturday morning, we were making door hangers, right? And so we were cutting the little holes in the door hangers, about 600 of them for our friends with Holy Ground Construction. They picked them up over the weekend, and so we're happy to have been able to do that. But yeah, that's our coffee mugs for the week. What coffee mug are you sipping out of? Do you have kind of a ritual that you follow, on Mondays where you're like, I got to have this coffee mug because it says something, really inspiring or whatever? Maybe you look at it and you're like, man, I remember when I had a little bit of freedom and when I went on vacation, whatever the case may be. We got two. We got one that says God is good. One is like not by, you walk by faith and not by sight. And I mean, we got some for just about every occasion, right? Because
Mhm.
whenever you wake up on Mondays, you're not always like, thank God it's Monday. You're like, oh man, it's another Monday. Sometimes, but today I am grateful for another day. I'm grateful for being Monday. So it's TGIM.
TGIF.
TGIM this week. We got a lot of cool things to look forward to. And so I'm going to move on to the next thing. We spent time with our kids out in Wolford,
Wolf.
right? Not Lubbock, Wolford, right? And so, our daughter and her husband, they just got them a new house out there. And so we had a chance to spend some time with them in the new house. We're creating new memories there. We actually went to the old house too, that they used to live in, and it felt kind of bittersweet to
Yeah.
me, right? When I walked in, it was like, because they're redoing the floor and all that stuff, and thinking about renting it out and all that
Mhm.
stuff, and which is awesome, which
Yeah.
is awesome. And so but walking in and seeing they're getting new flooring and new lighting and all
Yeah,
of
all
that
the
stuff.
cabinets were out,
Yeah.
and
It was
I went in there to take a peek because I was like, "I wanna see how it looks one more time," and
mhm,
before they, rent it out.
rented out, right? And you were like, so if I had known that this was the last weekend that we were gonna spend at the
Mhm.
house, you would have, like cherished it a little bit
Yeah, I
more,
would have
right?
appreciated the moment.
Yeah.
It just happened so fast, we knew that they were getting ready to buy another house and
Hmm.
the time frame. And then that last weekend we were there, it just didn't seem like, oh, okay, it just didn't seem like that was the last weekend we were
Yeah.
gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's about 2 months ago.
Yeah, it didn't feel real. Like it's like,
Mm-mm.
it's like it's still an idea. But then whenever you actually walk into and it's weird because we actually, went with them before they actually bought it, the new house, and we were looking at it like, and you can see how cool it is. But once you actually go to visit and the furniture's already in place, and it's like, everything is set up, and it's like, okay, this is real. It's
Yeah.
a real thing, right? And so it's really cool, to be able to as a father and as a grandfather to be able to kind of see these things, in your kids, right?
Mhm.
As a parent, I would say, right, is be able to see your kids doing good and doing adult things and
Yeah.
making good decisions and raising a family and just doing all of the cool stuff that make life really beautiful.
Yeah.
And then being a grandparent, to me, it just feels like another chance, right? So we did our time. I don't like to say it like that, but we put in some time, some work,
Yeah.
raising our kids, and now our kids are in their 30s, and a couple of them are in their late 20s, mid to late 20s, and so we we're some
Mhm.
seasoned people, right? We've been through some things and we've experienced some things, and now with our grandkids, we're able to do it all over again,
Yeah.
right? I was playing my our grandson was we're playing tag whenever you went.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, so he's gonna catch you. I thought he was gonna catch me, but I'm still fast. I'm still fast. He couldn't catch me, and he was like, I was like, "Are you giving up or what?" And then he'd come back, and he just couldn't catch. And then I'd slow down and let him tag me so that I could go tag him. And then so I know the old trick because we've been playing tag. We played tag when we were kids, right? So it's like as soon as he touched me, I touched him right back. I said, "Got you back,"
Uh-huh.
and he's like, "Wait a minute, that's not how." So I didn't even get a chance to run. Yes, I
Mhm.
said, young grasshopper, you will learn all of these tricks. Grandpa's going to teach you all of these tricks because that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And so it's just, man, I was telling my wife, today just about how grateful I was for the weekend, and you know, just watching our grandson grow, watching him, like be into this, one visit, and then
Mhm.
he's into something else, and so we rehearse the songs of the cartoons that he likes, and then by the time we get back, he's got new cartoons that he
Yeah,
likes, and
something else.
and so we always got to stay up on current events, to
Yeah.
make sure that we are hip.
We're hip to it.
We're hip to the cool stuff,
Yeah.
and and so
He did have a new joke for
what
us.
was it?
He's so funny.
Hmm.
So we were just doing when we got there, they're like, "Tell him, guess what?" Right? And so he told us, "Guess what?" And I said, "What?" And he said, "Chicken butt."
Chicken butt. That's a classic. That's a classic because you used to do that with the kids, right? With our son and daughter, one of our
Yeah.
sons and daughters, and the chicken butt thing. And so
And
whenever I heard it, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty cool."
and then the a knock knock joke. But we were saying knock knock, and then who's there? And then he said interrupting cow.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I knew the joke, and I started laughing, and I started to say interrupting, and he goes moo.
Yeah. So you were gonna say interrupting who, and he's like, "Moo."
Yeah,
And so he's got a good sense of
he
humor.
does.
But I figured out a little hack for parents. You're trying to get your kids to maybe clean up after themselves and all that. And so there was a moment where he was singing one of the songs that he learned in Sunday school. So he was like, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And so we were going through that, right? So I was like, I wonder if this is gonna work, right? So I said, if you're happy and you know it, pick up your toys. And so he actually like picking up his
He was
toys and
picking
putting
up.
them in. And he's like, wait a minute, I'm getting duped here.
And
You
then he
got
looked
me.
over at you like,
Yeah, he's
hmm.
like, you got me, right? So this is how you do it. You gotta like it. You gotta weave in the things that they don't want to do with something that they do want to do,
Mm.
and it works like a charm. It still works because I used to use that same trick with my kids, but with Barney.
Oh
Because they
yeah.
had that song "Clean Up" and stuff like that,
Mhm.
that for Barney, and I was like, okay, play the song, and then they're like, oh, they don't know what they're doing, and so they're clean before you
they
know it,
they think it's a game.
they think it's a game and they're cleaning up, and I'm like, yes, got them. And so it's pretty cool to be able to use some of those old tricks, on our grandson, and it still works, y'all. It still works. The classics, they're not ready for it. And I know parents of today, you got all this like really really fancy methods and and things that you do for your kids, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's advanced to where we are, but there still are some old school life hacks, like getting your kids to clean up by singing a song that still works. So this is why it's important to for grandparents. It's important for you to be involved in the raising of your grandkids, right? Be just participate. You don't have to be like the critical one, like, "I'll do
Yeah.
it this way." It's not like that. Embrace the new stuff that they're doing because it's pretty cool. I think our kids really care more about being a parent than what we
That's
did,
what we
right? It's
did. We
like,
were just like winging it. Like maybe we read a book. I I
I didn't read no books.
I read a couple of books, a few books on how to help with parenting and whatever, but not like how they got it now. We're like just really winging it
Yeah.
because even our parents were like, uh, you know,
Yeah, our kids, you're 5 years old, you need a part-time job.
yeah, you're like
Right.
get to work.
Yeah, our parents, right? It's like, so we were raised by the boomers,
Mhm.
right? And so we're Generation X, so we were tough on our kids, right? And our kids who are millennials, right? They're like they're not tough, right?
Mhm.
I don't even know if they want to spank their kids, which is cool. That was something new with whenever me and you got together, is like, that's wild. I was like, man, I could fix this problem in like 2 seconds. And so because that's the way I was raised, we were both raised like that, but
Yeah.
she didn't carry that on to her kids.
I did it. I did in the beginning. I tried, like, I did spank them on their butt, and then it would just like break my heart. And so I didn't do it all the way.
Right. And I fully embraced the Bible where it says, spare the rod and you spoil the child, right? And so you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. But this show is not about parenting. It's not about discipline. It's not about none of that stuff. What I'm saying, grandparents, is that help your kids raise their kids, your grandkids,
Mhm.
in the way that they want to do it. Your way is not the way, right? You use your way to them, and if your
Mhm.
kids grew up cool, then more power to you, right? If they're productive, right?
Yeah.
If they're screwed up because of something you did, don't go in there trying to screw up their kids,
We're like,
just
this is
because
what I did to you.
this
It's
is what
like,
I did to
yeah,
you, and
mom.
you survived. It's not about surviving,
Uh,
right? It's about being better than what you were, right? And so, but yeah, just being able to use these old school songs to get my grandson, to pick up his toys. Well, at least, I mean, he was smart; he picked up on it. But
mhm.
I was like, okay, so if maybe if I would have been picking up the toys with them, he would have said, "Oh, okay, this is like a family activity or something like that,"
Yeah.
But I was just trying to see if it worked. So I saw that it worked. So now I took notes, and so next time I'm going to
Next
be a
time.
little bit better,
Mhm.
right? I'm going to know how to do it a little bit better. And so whenever we on Saturday, right? I had a short install, supposed to be a short install on a Mini Cooper for our son-in-law's friend, coworker, and so we were going to wrap the roof and the spoiler and the mirrors on his Mini Cooper. And so I went out there and got started on the roof. The roof was good, and I honestly didn't know that I was going to do the spoiler, right? And so I was like, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. I'll be done in an hour or two. And so did all of that. I was taking my time trimming, making sure that I was using the wrap axe and just kind of talking and like this is this. And then I was like, oh, we're doing the spoiler. Okay. And so the spoiler needs to come off and all of that stuff. Fortunately, we had the knifeless tape, with us, which that whenever I heard that, I was like, oh man, I don't have the knifeless
And
tape.
I thought about that too, and I
Yes.
wasn't sure.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to do this. And then it was in the pocket.
Oh,
So it was
good.
pretty good. But one thing that I gotta say about the knifeless tape, one of our cats got into that bag because it had teeth mark all over it.
What?
Yeah, so it had teeth marks all over it. Fortunately, it didn't tear, but I was like, ugh, the cats. And so anyways, but it worked, the roof and the spoiler worked, but I couldn't get the caps on the mirrors because I needed a tool to be like stationary. And so I like we'll buy you some, or we're gonna print a decal in exchange for that. And so I was a little disappointed that I wasn't able to do the mirrors, and it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It's just I didn't have I needed a way to hold it stationary, and trying to do those Mini Cooper mirror caps is really tough to do, without it being mounted. And so I even tried it in two pieces, and it just didn't work for me. And so instead of being there all night, I was like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he was cool with it. And so
Yeah.
we were good to go. He's going to take some pictures. He's going to get some captions. He's going to take some pictures, and he said that he'll send them to us so that way we can share them on social media. And then he even said that we could put our logo on his car. So he has a bunch of different vehicles. So I thought it was a really cool gesture, for him to allow us to have our logo
Yeah,
on his
that's
video.
cool.
So that was that. I also we delivered a decal for a customer that we actually met at the De Mayo car show here in Abilene. So he brought his Spider-Man theme um Dodge Charger, and man, I noticed it right away. I was like, man, that is pretty cool. And so I went up and talked to him, and just was letting him know how I admired the craftsmanship. And he told me that he did the wrap himself, and that and so we connected. And then just out of the blue, he sent me a message on Instagram and said, "Hey, I'm looking to add another piece on my or to redo my trunk. Do you think you could work this out?" And so we did, and we delivered it. And so when he saw it, he said, "Man, it was effing awesome." And so that means that he liked it in layman terms, right? According to the Webster's dictionary, that means that I did a good job. And so anytime a customer, like, that's actually the review that we're looking for, right? I'm looking for somebody to say that was effing awesome, or bad A, right? And that just sounds, it makes me feel a lot better than if somebody says, "Hey, they did a good job,"
Yeah, they
right?
liked it.
Yeah, a good job is kind of like a thumbs up, right?
Uh-huh.
I want more than a thumbs up. I want a punch up,
A
or
punch.
punch up or something. It's like something that makes me feel it. hmm But yeah, it was really cool. And we got a chance to like kind of develop, build on relationships that we have with people there in Lubbock. And so you never know, we might be doing more jobs out there in the Lubbock area. And we're not against it. Any reason for us to go be around and close to our kids and make money, sign me up for that, right? And so I made sure to do it all by myself so that my wife can maximize her time with our grandson. And and I didn't want to put her out there, you
Aw,
know.
thanks,
So I was
babe.
already thinking about that. So just know that if we go and we do an install out of town, I'm gonna be doing that by myself, unless it's kind of like, I absolutely can't do it without you. But I think, I'm a little slower without you, but I can get it done.
Yes.
So I was doing it for years
Mhm.
before, but I got spoiled over the last 5 years, because you're such a good partner and
'Cause he's
helpmate.
like, "Scalpel," I give him a scalpel.
Yeah,
"Glove,
yeah. That's
sweat."
spatula. Yeah,
And I wipe the sweat
the
off of
sweat.
your brow.
That's right. Water. I'm parched. And
I'm
she
parched.
comes running. And so yeah, I mean, it's like, so whenever we go out of town, we're gonna be looking to do things. And this is how relationships are built. It's like you go and you just kind of meet somebody, and then through that somebody, you meet other people. Like through this Mini Cooper, he does shows and all that
Mhm.
stuff. And then the other guy with the Spider-Man, he does shows. And so it's like he's repeat customers there, but then also the beginning of a referral base. And that's usually how it goes. You
Yeah.
start a relationship, and then they refer you to people that they know if you do a good job, and then it kind of goes from there.
Mm.
And so I'm grateful for it. But speaking of being grateful, I wanted to take a little bit of a break from the content of the show, and I wanted to do a customer shout out. And it's something that I think that we should do regularly, right? And so, um, you know, during the past week, we've had a bunch of people that have either tagged me or tagged our business, on Facebook for sure, right? That's the one that I feel like I'm seeing more of the activity. Anytime that somebody goes on to the support small business dabbling and they're looking for services that we're offering, I see people tagging us almost on a daily basis, right? Which is a blessing to us. So what I try to do whenever, you tag either my name or you tag our company, I try to make sure that I, like it, heart it, so that that I see that, right? And then every now and then, I'll reply, I'll put a reply, hey, thanks for the tag. I'm more grateful for the people that think of us, right? The business is good, right? The business is good, but we have a pretty good customer base, right? Referrals, repeat customers, things like that. And those are usually our best customers, to tell you the truth, because they've already done business with us. They know, the process and things like that. New customers are used to doing business, in other places in most cases, or maybe they've never done it before, and their frame of reference is, coming from Walmart or coming from HEB or something like that, where the customer is always right. Well, in this world, the customer is not always right. We are the experts, and so we're going to kind of tell you this is how we do it, right? This is the design process, and this is the print process, and this is the install process, right? And it's like, if you tell us to do this, this is what we're going to do, right? If we can't do it, we're going to try to tell you up front that we can't do it, right? And so new customers have to get used to that, right? And new customers, they'll send you a message, on Friday night and expect a response, right away, right? But our customers understand that, we work Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And so it takes a while to get customers like that, And so we love the new customers. We want new customers. But if I can be honest for a minute, it's the fact that our existing customers and our friends are thinking of us to refer us to other people. And so we got some really good friends and really good customers. And so I just got to say, if any of our customers are referring you to us, that's kind of a big deal, because I have high respect for the people that send us, and not just because they send us business, but they're good people.
Yeah.
They run good businesses, and they don't want to send you to just anybody, right? And so not to pat myself on the back, but one of the things that I've always looked at is look at the person that's referring, not necessarily the company, right? Because there's some people who would just refer you to anybody, right? And they don't care, right? But there's a lot of people like our customers and the people that we're close to who aren't just going to send you to anybody. I remember early on, whenever we weren't as good as we are, right? And one of our friends and customers, he's like, hey man, like he actually called me out, and it's like it's because I referred him, right? And so if I'm referring you to him, it's I'm watching over that, and it wasn't so much to where I was like I'm messing up on purpose. I just needed to get better, right? And so but that's always kept on my mind. It's like, I need to, if one of our customers is referring, their friends and their family and their customers to us, we got to make sure we take special care of them, because now you have an opportunity to mess things up in two places, right? And so you got to make sure that you really are on point, and the communication has to be there, and you got to make sure that you take care of them, just because that's what you do for customers. But then also, it was one of your customers or friends that referred them to you. So I said all of that to say thank you. And I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of people that I just went through this morning. If I missed anybody, sorry about that. But I'm gonna mention them here live, and then whenever I edit the actual video, I'm gonna put links to their social media page, if they're available, so that way the audience, if you're tuning in, you can you can tune into that, right? So the first one that I have here is Mr. Matt Atkins. Matt, I've noticed, I've noticed that you've tagged me on a couple of people. One of them was the trailer that we did not too long ago. The with the rose gold. Thank you for referring those to us. It came out amazing, and we were just the design team on that one.
Mhm.
But we thank you, for referring those folks to us, and we took good care of them, right? And Matt, you recently sent a person looking for decals. I want to just say thank you. Now, Matt Adkins is the owner of Forever Lawn, Texas, right? And he also owns the Arterials
Mhm.
Landscape, right? And so, really good business. So if you're looking for anything, they do like the turf with Forever Lawn, and they do these like really custom like playscapes and things like that for any buildings that you guys need. I mean, it's really cool stuff that they do. So link up with them, let them know that Red Alpha sent you to them. They run a really good business. They've been customers of ours in both businesses, the Arterials and the Forever Lawn. Great customers, and a good referral friend. So Matt, thank you for that. Shout out to Matt Atkins. Then we got Eric Cervantes with Little Bros Barbecue. Man, if you are in the mood for some really good barbecue, you got to check out Little Bros Barbecue. If you're not connected with him directly, you'll see that I'm connected with him. So kind of go through my friends page or whatever, and then link up to him. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. He makes some awesome brisket sandwiches, tacos. I mean, man, they do it all. The Texas Twinkies are good. The jalapeno poppers. and and so, man, everything that he does is good. I'm actually in the mood for some barbecue right now. So yeah, hit up Eric Cervantes with Little Bros Barbecue. Eric, thank you for always being a good referral customer to us. I notice whenever you tag me or Red Alpha for people when they're looking, and so it doesn't go unnoticed. We want to say thank you, and we're gonna put the link to his Facebook page for Little Bros as well in the comments once I edit the video. The next is a really a long time customer, Alanis Construction.
Mhm.
Alanis Construction, he just gave us, I mean, fresh off of a review of the t-shirts that we did for him. We've done a lot of different print stuff for Alanis Construction. Over the years, we've done caps and shirts, and so we're looking forward to doing that trailer, man. Send that trailer to us. Get those done, the rear window on your truck, and man, their business is doing really well. They're all over the place, getting these 5-star reviews, which they deserve, and getting these big projects, and I'm just kind of thanking God for you, brother, because it's like it's really good to see a friend and someone that we've had behind the scenes conversations, and to see people that you care about, blessed and getting blessed, right? So it's just an awesome thing. And then we got Joseph Fernandez with A1 Detailing. Joseph is actually family. He's his dad to our nephew, and so Joseph has been a really good referral
Mhm.
base from us. He is one of the ones that are up there. I think Superman might be ahead of him, because Superman is just he's a machine. Like he's always constantly getting the little badges from our Facebook page as a
Mm.
top person, right?
Yeah.
And but Joseph is really, really good at it. Whenever he sees somebody that needs our services, without question, he's like, tagging me and tagging our business, and so I just want to give a shout out to Joseph for that. Thank you, I appreciate that. We're gonna put your information as well, so that way, if you need a good detail, he does good work as well. Hit him up, and he will get you taken care of. Then we got Johnny Flores. we got some history with Johnny. Johnny, I actually met Johnny through my wife. Like he was towing her cars, right? Whenever we first met,
Yeah,
and when we first met
15,
you,
16 years
yeah.
ago.
So when we first met, you had gotten into an accident with that. What was the vehicle that you have? Not the Subaru. It was the white one, right?
Yeah, it was, I don't even remember. It was a white car.
Yeah.
Well, we were already married
We were
then.
married already. Okay. So,
Well,
but
I know Johnny because I used to work with him.
right, right. So at the water department, right?
With the
And
city.
so anyway, so that's how I met Johnny. And it turns out that Johnny basically related to a longtime friend, which happens a lot here in Abilene, you know. And so being born and raised, I just moved away and for a long time, but still the families, some of the families are still here, those who didn't move away. And so Johnny, is now our he's now a customer.
Mhm.
And so Johnny recently um so Johnny recently referred us to a friend of his that owns a towing company.
Mhm.
And so with Bruce's towing,
Mhm.
and so we got Bruce taken care of, and Johnny was the one that referred us. So this is pretty cool because Johnny actually owns, Florida's towing, right? And so he just messaged me over the weekend. They got a new truck. So we need to schedule some time to go out there and take a look at the truck to put some decals. But Johnny, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for thinking of us in spite of us not having delivered those reflective decals. But
Yeah.
we're gonna get those done.
We'll
I
get it
apologize
done.
for that, sir. Thank you for your patience. God bless you for that. Because it really means a lot to us. Sometimes uh sometimes it's more often than we'd like to admit, we drop the ball, right? And so, but I never quit the game. I'm always going to pick the ball up and go score a touchdown,
Mhm.
right? Or shoot the basket or do whatever I got to do. And so we want to say thank you to Johnny Flores with Flores Towing. And if you guys need a good tow truck, hit them up. He's been around for a long time,
Yeah.
and probably over 20 years. I don't know. And it's like he was in business way before we started, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
And so Johnny's Towing, Johnny Florida's with Johnny's Towing. And another one that I've noticed is Adela with Lawyers Plumbing.
Mm.
They when they see people as well, she makes sure that she tags Red Alpha Custom Prints. And I just want to say thank you, ma'am, for taking the time to refer people to us. We appreciate you guys and Lawyers Plumbing.
Yeah.
Lawyers Plumbing has done some work for us, whenever we need it,
Mhm.
unclogging the shower and fixing the toilet, things like that. And
Mhm.
and they have been we actually had a leak that they came and looked at,
Yeah.
so they are normally the first people that we think about whenever it comes to
Mhm.
plumbing.
And they've
And
been our customer, and only because I was doing some research on something else,
Mhm.
customer since 2012.
Wow. So really day
Mhm.
one customers.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. So Cruz Lawyer, there with Lawyers Plumbing and Construction. And so I've seen their business grow and they've been great customers of ours over the years and we appreciate them because not only are they great customers, they're good referral base. They're
Mhm.
always telling people about us and we appreciate that. And so we wanted to take the time to kind of give them a shout out. So if you need any plumbing, any construction, give Cruz Lawyer with Lawyers Plumbing a call. Let them know
Mhm.
that Red Alpha called you, sent you to them, and they'll get you taken care of. And last but not least is my man Mike Casillas. Michael Casillas with Graybeard Entertainment. He's another person that refers us all the time, right?
Yeah.
And then another cool thing that he's doing is as he's booking these shows, he's putting sponsored by Red Alpha, which he doesn't have to do that, right?
Mhm.
I think I've sent him, a few dollars, a few shekels, and I told him, man, I'll start sending some more money as soon as we we sell these cans that we're saving, right? And so he just laughs about it, but he's just that type of person. If he likes you and if he cares about you, he's going to be one of the best people that you can have on your side.
Mhm.
And so we thank you, Michael, for always thinking of us, and we just appreciate you, man. We
Yeah.
appreciate you for that.
So we're gonna give them a round of applause. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Round of applause by Red Alpha, your friends at Red Alpha. And so we appreciate that. And so for the next segment, what I want to talk about, we're bringing back something that I'm really excited about. If you guys noticed, right? If you guys noticed, we're really consistent with bringing you two shows. On Monday mornings, we're bringing the Red Alpha Mugshot Monday, so you can count on that. You can tune in your clocks and know that we're going to be here talking about our weekends and projects and things like that for every Monday at 9 o'clock. Then on Wednesdays, we have our Behind the X's and O's podcast. And so the Behind the X's and O's, if those of you who've never tuned into it, um, I usually have a guest, and we're talking about behind the scenes conversations in different industries. For example, this coming Wednesday, we got our friend Chris Summers with Chris Summers Art, and he's also the rhythm guitarist for Rear Naked Choke. I'm so excited about that. I'm going to do some more, content to kind of, to build up the show on Wednesday. But I'm excited to have him as a guest and honored that he would take time out of his busy schedule, to kind of chop it up with me on Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, we're having those type of conversations. We've had some awesome guests already, and we got guests lined up to the end of August. And so I'm excited to have these conversations, and we got some ideas on how to grow that particular podcast. But we are bringing back the Showmates podcast this coming Friday. I have a guest lined up. It is our friend Superman Viscano. We're going to be talking about one of the shows that we both watch, that we both love, and it's a current show. I'm not going to give it away today, but we are going to set aside Fridays at 6 p.m. We're going to bring back our Showmates podcast. And so we're going to be talking about shows and movies that we enjoy, that we're watching, that we're current in, or maybe we're rewatching the shows, and we're going to try to break it down a little bit, but really just share the love that we have for watching all these different shows, because uh whenever we started binge watching shows, and then it was just one of those things where it was like, I realized that my wife is also my showmate. And so, we watch the same shows together, and then it's conversation for the day, right? We're like, man, what do you think about this person? And what do you think about that? And theories and and all of that. And then even in my like spare time, believe it or not, I'm watching other podcasts where they're talking about shows, and uh, and I just find it really interesting to talk about these shows. It's like maybe relate it to real life, or it's just kind of a break from the daily grind, right?
Yeah.
So Showmates, make sure that you tune in, put it on your calendars. Tune in this Friday at 6 p.m. It's going to be myself and Superman Viscano. We're going to be talking about a popular show that is current. It comes out on Sundays, and it may or may not have something to do with dragons. Okay. And so you go and do your research and find out what show we're going to be talking about. But tune into that. And we're going to try to bring you guys regular programming, right? Throughout the week, things that you can look forward to on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that are not necessarily directly connected to our company Red Alpha Custom Prints, which, by the way, if you guys are watching on YouTube or scrolling through Facebook Reels or TikTok Reels or anything like that, and you happen to stumble across one of our clips, we just like you to know that we are also the owners of Red Alpha Custom Prints. We're a print shop located in Abilene, Texas, and we print a lot of cool stuff, right? From t-shirts to embroidery. We do vehicle wraps. We do signs, decals, lettering, Mini Coopers, and even mirrors coming soon. Right. We do a lot of cool stuff. And so we would love for you to kind of connect with us. If you have a project that needs one of our services, give us a call and we will help you out to the best of our. We'll take good care of you. Let's put it that way. But for these shows, you can look forward to to just having conversations about stuff that maybe you might be interested in that have nothing to do with the services that we offer. Right? Maybe you like coffee. Tune in Mugshot Monday Coffee, right? You like to hear about recaps and just random stuff. Red Alpha Mugshot Monday is your show, right? If you like behind the scenes type conversations with people from all different industries, right? Tune in to Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. We're gonna have special guests, and they're not all from the same industry. It's all over the place, right? And so we're gonna be you never know when this person has a story that might be something you're going through right now, and you might figure a way out by listening to how this person has already done it, right? And so we're going to continue to bring in awesome guests for that show, and we're they're not always going to be live. We're going to do some on site, with the customers. So I got some things lined up where we're going to do some like this one particular one. We're trying to get the scheduling down where the mugshot, I mean the behind the X's and O's is going to be done on site at the customer's location, right? So that's going to be cool. Then every Friday you can count on myself and my showmate or myself and a guest to talk about a popular show. I have a feeling that this Friday we're also going to have to talk about Spider-Man because my wife got us some tickets tonight. We're going to go watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then tomorrow I'm going to be doing all the spoilers. And so I told you guys not to spoil it for me, but I'm not going to take my own advice. I'm going to spoil it for you. So make sure. I mean, you had the whole weekend, right? You had the whole weekend. It came out last Friday, Thursday or Friday, and so by the time I watch it tonight, and by the time I talk about it, it's gonna be Friday, right? So that's plenty of time for you to watch the movie. And so, like even me, like I already know kind of who's what, right? That was a secret, and so it can't be spoiled to me. But we're gonna watch it, man. We're gonna make sure that we have the popcorn, we're gonna have the drink, we have the pickles and candy and all of that stuff. We're going to be ready to go. This is going to be a great show, great movie. I've been looking forward to this since they first started talking about it. Right. So we're looking forward to it. I'm a huge Marvel fan. And so I think we're going to be talking about the show on Wednesday too, because Chris Summers is a nerd just like me, and so we're going to be talking a little bit about that stuff and some stuff, some print stuff that he's done for us too. I mean, some artwork that he's done. So, anyways, without further ado, or is that what you say at the end? Further ado? Okay. Without further ado, I think that is all for today for today's show. We're gonna wrap it up because we got some work to do. We got some things that we got to unload on our car that new gift that we got. So I'm excited about that. And so that's all for now. Make sure that you tune in next week at 9 o'clock for another Mugshot Monday podcast. If you got time, check us out on Wednesday at 6 p.m. and then again on Friday at 6 p.m. That way you can see my lovely face, you can hear my lovely voice, and then maybe, just maybe, you might be inspired about something that will connect you to us, right? But other than that, that's all for now. Vaya con Dios, and keep it classy, Abilene. You got something?
Red Alpha out.